Hi, I'm Steve, the introverted traveler. I've made it my mission in life to explore the beaches, deserts, mountains, and even cityscapes around us, and to do so while avoiding contact with as many people as possible. And although I will never hang out with you for any reason, I do invite you to join me on my journey. Come and see the world through the eyes of an extreme introvert. On this edition, we are hiking the Tom, Dick, and Harry Mountain near Government Camp and Mount Hood in northern Oregon. Along the way, we will encounter lovely creeks, a beautiful lake, wonderful views, and piles of random construction material found in the middle of the woods. All this and much more on this Introverted Travels. Greetings, and I'm back again on yet another adventure, and for a second week in a row, I'm on Introvert Red Alert. Today, I'm doing the Tom, Dick, and Harry Peak via the Mirror Lake Trail out here in the Mount Hood area of northern Oregon. And of course, the reason why I was able to memorize that trailhead and I didn't have to look it up is because it has the word Dick in the title. I mean, come on. So, why am I on Red Alert? It's because the trailhead is actually a rather large parking lot that I'm just going to do some rough estimations here. So the introverted math might be a little off, but I swear there's probably about 100 car capacity there. And guess what? There were about 100 cars. Now, simple introverted math will tell you that, 4 people per car times 100 is a boatload of damn people. And they're all out here. I've seen them. There are plenty of dogs out here with them too, but there's unfortunately just not enough dogs to cancel out the zombie herds that are currently slumbering and lumbering through this weird, I think it's kind of pretty, but it is a weird forest because the forest smells like weed. The entire forest smells like weed. So we've got people out here, and I'm getting a contact high from like stoner trees. Already a weird hike, folks. According to All Trails, it's an 8 or 9 mile hike. I'm not gonna even bother with All Trails mileage anyways because it's all fictional and made up. It's probably 9 or 10 or 1,000. I don't know, but they're everywhere. My head is on a swivel. I've heard mundane conversations. I've already heard conversations about using the bathroom and insurance or whatever the hell they were talking about. And my misery index has literally, the scale just shattered. I mean, there's pieces of that misery index all over this stoned forest. So yeah, it's gonna be one of those videos. So today we're headed up to the peak. Apparently, now according to my introverted sources on the introverted, the Black Ops network, the people kind of peter away around the lake because there's an actual lake and then you keep going up and then you go up to the peaks. Okay, so I'm crossing my fingers that 95% of whatever is currently lingering in the woods will turn around the lake and I'll be able to find some type of solitude. But it's Northern Oregon, folks. It is the batshit insane hiking capital of the Pacific Northwest. There are people there. There are people here. There are people paradropping from the trees. There's people coming out of dimensional wormholes. They're everywhere. This is Oregon. This is the Pacific Northwest. It's insane. They're driving me nuts. But okay, so I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna look at the views, I'm gonna desperately try to avoid the people. There may be some sobbing in the bushes, there may be ducking behind rocks. I mean, it's any technique I can use to avoid hellos and good mornings and the usual trail greetings. So I think I've said it all. I think I've said enough. So I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna get through the weird stoner woods. And we're gonna hike up to the top of a mountain. And then we're gonna get the hell out of here. Sound like a plan? Well, do I even have to say it? So far, this hike has been pure misery. Why, you ask? Why would you ask that? It's because every 5 feet I'm hearing things like, well, my sister's father-in-law is a proctologist down in Florida, and he's been pulling people's heads out of their asses for years, and he'll just come home at night completely tired, covered in ass juices, and he'll say, why are there so many people in Florida with their heads right up their asses? I have had to pull so many heads from butts. I am sick of it. It's conversations like that constantly in my ear, raining through the forest. Of course, it doesn't help that this, it's a forest, so it's beautiful. Because by default, all forests are beautiful, but this one's trashed. There's broken stumps, downed limbs, debris everywhere, and it smells like weed for some reason. I haven't figured that out yet, but it's like being in a truck stop bathroom after a rave. There's so much chaos and disorder here. It reminds me of the inside of the brains of my haters after they've watched one of my, don't talk while hiking videos. But anyway, that's my current status. I'm in the weird, broken, pot-smelling woods. I'm listening to people talk about pulling heads out of asses. Not really, but most of these people are walking with their heads up their asses, so, they need that proctologist, the one I made up. And, it's a little bit cold, it's a little bit overcast, but it's a little bit Oregon, so, all right, enough of this stupidity. I'm going to head up the trail and hope that God has mercy on my soul. Oh boy. All right. So I'm sure that this used to be a sign, but a bunch of immature, idiotic vandalizers came out here with Sharpies and crayons. And this is what we get. Unintelligible, completely crappy, not any artistic value whatsoever. There's going to be people who say, oh, this is art. No, that's what a 2-year-old does on a wall when he's really, really bored. I'm surprised it's just not written in the hiker's own poop. Come on. That's the level that you graffiti artists most of the time function on. Actually, toddlers make better. At least a toddler might try to draw a cat or a dog or something. What is that? I've had this rant before. People will constantly, rag on me because they're like, oh, you're out of touch, you're wrong. Our ancestors used to draw on cave walls. Well, yeah. Do you have a cave? We've got the internet. We've got phones. We've got this. We've got that. You don't need to communicate in, scribbles and hash marks and whatever the hell that orange thing is. Stop bringing writing utensils to the forest. Just leave your X-Acto knives and your spray paint cans and your markers and your crayons in the car. Just children, listen to me. Keep the crayons in the car. They won't melt. It's okay. It's cold out here. It's Oregon. But no one ever listens to me, and we get graffiti puke. Congratulations. You've puked everywhere. It's not art. It's literally human puke in crayon form. Oh, this is the first. This is the first time I've seen the very splendid and natural and majestic giant pile of wood in the woods. Now, what I'll tell you is that giant pile of wood in the woods is actually, I believe, from a downed bridge, which is right over there. It goes over a tiny creek. It's really not a big deal, but I'm trying to fill content here. So look, it's in bloom. The giant pile of wood in the woods. That's just A+ content, right there. Well, I have officially made it to Mirror Lake, and I'm hearing voices. Not in my head. I'm hearing voices everywhere. They're in the bushes. They're across the lake. They're up the trail. This trail is basically like a freeway. So yeah, there's been hikers and Oregon is exhausting. I came up here hoping to find, you know, a different environment than what was in California. And it's worse. They're everywhere. I'm surprised they're not jumping out of the freaking lake at me. Like, oh, hello, good morning, good morning. Hey, you wanna go for a swim? Good morning. Oh, it's like a horror movie, only I don't die, I just suffer a lot. But anyway, Muir Lake, and according to the hiking underground sources that I have, this is where a lot of hikers come in and turn around and go back. So, I have a feeling I'm going up there. I mean, that mountain looks like it would have a Dick in its name. I don't know. But yeah, Tom, Dick, and Harry. I have no idea which one is Tom, Dick, or Harry. I don't know anything about mountains and names, but I know that I'm probably going up there. Right now, I'm down here. Next to, it's a beautiful lake. Be even prettier if, you know, the apocalypse would hurry up and happen and there'd be no people out here. I mean, I'd love it then, but now, until then, let's just enjoy the water. Well, here's some views for you. And check that out right there. By the way, that is a, well, that's a volcano. That's Mount Hood right there. You can actually see most of it, although the clouds are gathering. So, all right, this spot that I'm at, it's not the end. This is just the very beginning. So apparently the views are way better at the top. And I know that because 50 people have walked by me, chat, 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 chat. I mean, seriously, you extroverts think this is okay? I mean, out here, you think it's okay? We all have different needs, and so yes, of course, you're probably gonna have conversations, but when you see someone just sitting here enjoying the view, can you please, for 5 seconds, stop talking about your cat and your work and whatever the hell else you're doing, and just be respectful and go away before you start in on, you know, real life crap that no one cares about and only you think is cool, and let me have this. This is what I came for. This is why I had the camera. And this is why I ran. Because you people are driving me crazy. You're driving everybody crazy. You're assaulting us with your presence. You are burdening us with your existence. I mean, it's bad enough that you have to exist in this world with us. Don't make us suffer. Just shh. There's views out there. All right, here's an update. And it's gonna come as a shock to anyone who regularly views my videos, but I'm going uphill and I'm meandering through the woods. Now, I usually meander at the end of the hike, but now it's got me doing it in the middle. It's just, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. It's kind of boring. I'm going uphill, there's trees and leaves and, you know, eventually I'm going to start to get the views, but until then I got trees and leaves. But what I will say is, after that little Vista Peak thing that I filmed out a minute ago, it's a lot quieter out here. Yes, there's a few people here and there, but my misery index, my misery meter went from being shattered in pieces on the ground to now it's sitting on the table wrapped in duct tape and smoking. So I mean, it's not great, but it's better than it was. Well, a few minutes ago I found a pile of wood in the woods. Now I found a pile of rocks. I mean, what other construction material might be out here? Is there gonna be like a giant pile of bricks somewhere and, you know, bags of cement hidden behind a bush? And I don't exactly know what any of this means, but it might be the woods trying to tell me something. It's giving me wood and rocks. And yes, I did just say that the woods are giving me wood, and then I realized what that means when I said it, but I'm gonna leave it in because, have you seen my stuff? I mean, come on, that's the least controversial thing I've said in like the last 5 minutes. All right, check out where I am so far. That giant thing right in front of me, that right there, you see that? That's Mount Hood. That's where the elite hikers go. They're all up there right now. They're eating their fancy trail mix and talking about, you know, the $1,000 pants and $2,000 shoes they're wearing, because that's what elite hikers do. I don't know why, but now over there, I believe, where am I? Oh, my finger's somewhere. Okay, over there on the side of Hood, I think that's Mount Adams. Behind Mount Adams, you probably can't see it, it's somewhere over there because it's way in the distance, is Mount Rainier, I think, maybe. And then, of course, way right between those two trees, somewhere over there, Mount St. Helens. So, we are literally smack dab right in the middle of the Cascades. And there's that lake I was at earlier. I was down there, and now I'm up here. And just as a side note, here's the batshit trail that you have to... trail in quotes that you can't really see my fingers for. But this is what All Trails sends you over to get to this. Now, normally I'd have a giant rant about All Trails trying to kill me and blah, blah, blah. We all know the All Trails sucks. I mean, it is like... it is the suck of suck. It makes sucking look normal and really sucking look okay. I mean, that's how hard All Trails sucks. It sucks, but there are times in which it sends me over dangerous, horrible trails like this, whatever the hell this is. There's times when that's okay because, you know, Mount St. Helens, Mount Rainier, Mount Adams, Mount Hood, and actually what you can't see is behind me, right through the trees over there, Mount Jefferson, and there may be a couple others. We're like literally we're in the Cascades. Just that's all you need to know. But it's absolutely beautiful. And you can see the road down there. I'm actually not far from the trailhead. I'm just up. So eventually we'll go back down there. But at the moment, let's just take in the beauty of the Pacific Northwest. Oh, I should also make a quick note. The scenic spot, I'm just on a little ridge here, but there's a scenic spot beyond those trees in front of us there, covered in people. It's like looking at locusts in a wheat field. I have trauma just thinking about it, and I had to pass by, and there were people, they were eating sandwiches. What the hell is with it with you people coming out in the woods and eating sandwiches? It's like a freaking firehouse sub out here. Yes, this is the All Trails I know. So I finally found the trail, but I spent a couple of minutes just kind of, well, I was on the trail, I was off the trail. The map's not helping whatsoever, and there's people just wandering randomly through the woods, like way off the trail, talking to each other, going, is this it? Is this it? They don't have All Trails, or maybe they do. They probably do have All Trails. That's the problem. But yeah, I'm almost at the end of the map here. Volcanoes over there, by the way. I haven't gone that far from where I just shot the last. Oh, there's people. Oh. It's always terrible when I look up and there's people. It's like, oh, my heart shatters. My solitude just falls apart. I don't know how you extroverts do it. How can you see each other and not want to jump off the cliff here and, you know, hit your head on a rock and die? Anyway, I've made those rants before, so let's go back on topic. The All Trails is trying to kill all of us. There's people wandering through the woods. It's complete and utter chaos out here. And there's people in front of me. And there's a convenient cliff to jump off of, just in case there's a good hello or a good morning. So, volcano, introvert, woods, trail, and of course, All Trails trying to kill everybody. Pretty much sums up, you know, this segment. Let's go. This is getting dumb. Let's go. Well, here's an update. I guess All Trails heard me talking about, you know, how much it sucks, because now it's just blatantly trying to kill me. And so you can barely see the trail here. Now, I am very early in the season. As you can see, there's still some snow here. And it could very well be that the snow has wiped away a lot of the trail. But All Trails is telling me to go places where it looks like there's never been a trail. Like up the top of dangerous things and down the side of other dangerous things. I was like crawling over a rock pile at one point. And like jagged rock pile. I'm telling you, All Trails, we've been together for what, 2 years now? And you've just gotten worse with age. I mean, I know you've added like AI to your app and you've revamped some of the maps and stuff, but you're just leading us to the apocalypse. You literally, as I've said in the past, you've added Skynet to your app, and Skynet is trying to kill us more than you were already trying to kill us. I think that may be the design, but yeah, I'm on the trail at the moment, but I've been lost and found about 15 times, and All Trails it's blatantly trying to kill me. So if this is my last video transmission, yes, I was led into the woods and I was butchered in the woods, and the culprit is All Trails. I swear, things never get better, they just get dumber. Despite the last quarter of a mile literally trying to kill me. I mean, there's down trees, there's destroyed trail. It's early in the season, but it's also booby traps set by All Trails. But despite that, I've made it. Now, the view hasn't changed dramatically since, you know, the last viewpoint. I mean, the volcanoes aren't going anywhere. They're not going to be like, hey, we're over here now. I mean, that'd be cool if they moved, but no, the volcanoes don't move. And I'm not even sure I'm technically at the end of the trail, because I'm at the lower point of the peak here. There's a guy talking on his cell phone over there on the high point. I'm not even going to say it because I've said it a billion times. And it's still not getting in to your skulls. When you're out in nature, unless you're renting into a GoPro, shut up. But as is typical, he's over there hogging the best spot and, you know, talking on his cell phone. But I'll be over here talking to you and looking at the views at the volcano. Now, luckily, because the trail literally is the trail from hell and does try to kill you, it's just me and him out here. Nobody else, because no one is dumb enough to go through that crap. But yeah, down there, well, right in front of us is Mount Hood, but somewhere down there is Timberline. We've been there. The Pacific Crest Trail is out there somewhere. I don't know. It's out there in the bushes somewhere. There's a volcano. There's a volcano. There's a volcano. Just take your pick. They're everywhere. So, yeah, I'm gonna ooh and ah at the volcano and hope this asshole leaves and I can actually get over to the high point. But if I can't, it doesn't matter. So I'm about to turn around and go back through the trail from hell and try not to die. It sounds like a plan to me. So, let's go. Okay, the locusts just swarmed. I mean, aside from the douchebag on his cell phone and a couple other people, all of a sudden it's just a huge influx. So I'm leaving. I'm going this way. I'm running into the forest, and I'm trying desperately not to scream and cry. I swear, you extroverts, you have no regard for anybody but yourselves, do you? Oh, I'm going to go up to a point where there's other people, and I'm going to take a FaceTime call. Oh, that's it. I'm done. Running and screaming now. Let's go. Okay, just for equal time, this is the opposite direction, and as you can see, I think that's might be Mount Jefferson. I don't know, it's one of those fire mountains. But yeah, that would make sense. Mount Jefferson and Mount Hood, of course, on the other side of this crap. So, yeah. But I just wanted to show you all the cool volcanoes. I can't get them really easily in one arc, so there you go. All right, just for the record, I was up there, and now I'm not. I'm down here again. Mount Hood's right in front of me. And it's been people, and I saw family. Oh, I mean, as I've said before, adults are bad enough, but little adults are even worse because they're loud and they're not, well, so are adults. Really, I don't find much difference between adults and children. They're both immature. They both need to be told what to do and they both need to shut the hell up. But I'm seeing kids, I'm seeing adults, I'm seeing people on cell phones, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go put my head under a pillow and just sob for the future of the world. But I'm comforted by the beautiful volcano in front of me and the road down there and the lake. It's beautiful out here. But, just insert my usual, but I wish there'd be a zombie apocalypse, but I wish there'd be a asteroid, but I wish there'd be a deadly virus, but I wish this, but I wish that, just this rinse repeat. I see Mount Adams. I see Mount Hood. Over there's Mount Jefferson. This is Mount Introvert, and I'm ready to go. So, let's go. I can't believe this. Normally, later in the afternoon when I'm going back on the hike, usually that's when it's quieter and there's not as many people. There's more people coming. It's complete opposite here in the Pacific Northwest. The later it gets, the more assholes show up. I see assholes. I feel more drained now than I did when I started. You people are exhausting. Alright, this is the worst shot possible, but I was up there and now I'm down here. We're back at Mirror Lake, and unfortunately, it's infested with human locusts. I mean, they're everywhere. I hear talking, singing, wailing, whatever sound humans make. I don't know. I'm usually pretty quiet because all I do is sit in my room and just wait for the next day. But yeah, there's noises, there's movement. So I literally had to come out here in the bushes. Look, I'm standing in the bushes just to get a shot. That's how dedicated I am. And you're welcome. You're very welcome. But unfortunately, I'm shooting right into the sun. So I'm sorry. But yeah, so I was up there. Now I'm down here amongst the human locusts. And I'm headed back. Unfortunately, I'm headed back into that super busy trailhead. Oh. There's been people everywhere. I feel like I need to go on another hike just to recover from this hike because there's people. It's people. What do I have to do? The entire state of Oregon. They're everywhere. They've infested. I mean, at least in California, I could occasionally find someplace that was secluded and, not here. In Oregon, everyone's out and everyone's a shithead. Just seems to be the conclusion based on the empirical evidence that I'm gathering. But here's the pretty lake. Here's the pretty introvert. Hi. And there was the peak where I was actually. I was over on the other side, but unfortunately, because I'm not able to get into the shot, you won't be able to see it. But yeah, I went further over to the other side, and I saw a guy talking on his cell phone. This has not been my hike. I mean, it's a beautiful hike, but it's infested. They need to spray something out here to get rid of all these human locusts. All right, so this is usually the part of the video where I tell you that I'm meandering through the forest. But unfortunately, about 75% of this hike has been me meandering through the forest. So, I'm not going to tell you that. However, what I will say is that I think I'm in my final meander. I am back in the weed woods, or whatever you want to call it. The weird, freaky looking woods with a lot of debris everywhere, and it smells like marijuana out here. It's windy at the moment, so I'm not smelling any marijuana, but it's Oregon. The whole state's like made of the stuff. But what I will say is that it's time for our trail rating. Now, I'm going to do this as fast as possible because the number of people out here far surpasses my ability to make a video, you know, decently and with any detail, and B or 2 or whatever I'm on, my tolerance for humanity. I can't take it anymore, and I literally want to do this segment and then race as fast as I can, screaming and crying and, you know, begging heavens for relief. But I want to get out of here. So we do it on a introversion trail rating, 1 to 10. 1 being the worst possible thing for an introvert. That's Disneyland on the 4th of July. You've got fireworks going off. You've got mascots on fire. You have children screaming and throwing food everywhere. You got parents tearing their hair out. You know, the worst possible scenario for an introvert. Versus my head's on a swivel. Versus the 10, which is the brilliance of a middle of a field in Antarctica, middle of summer, just you and a penguin, or lots of penguins, depending on your preference. Nobody around for hundreds and hundreds of miles. That's introvert nirvana. Now, on that scale, 1 being awful hell, 10 being lovely heaven. This hike, this trail, is a 1.5. It's not Disneyland on the 4th of July. Nothing will ever beat Disneyland on the 4th of July. But it is as close as I can possibly come. I mean, I'm looking like in 360 trying to find people, because they're everywhere. They're coming out of the woods, they're coming up the trail, they're coming down the trail, they're coming from wormholes, you know the whole spiel. They're everywhere. This is an absolute nightmare scenario, but it's one of many nightmare scenarios here in the state of Oregon, because again, they're everywhere. This whole entire state is infected. It's infested. Oh, I have yet to find any place for solitude in the state of Oregon. Now, that's going to lead me to my misery index, which again is it's a 1 to 5 scale. 1 being complete pipe dream, no misery. I'm always miserable to 1 degree or another. And 5, you know, being the highest that I can go, but I break through that barrier constantly. So today's hike, even now, when I'm at the end of the hike and I'm usually relaxed, I'm usually, you know, around a 2, 2.5. I'm at a 5 billion, 100 trillion, quadrillion, gazillion, whatever the numbers are. And I hear more people coming. So I'm going to wrap this up. It's miserable. I don't recommend it. And they're here. That's our trail rating. That's our misery index. I'm going to my car now, and I'm going to put on the gas and get the hell out of here. Alright, I have tried to film this thing 100 gazillion times. There's people everywhere because I'm almost to the trailhead. Literally, the floodgates have opened and the entire population of Portland, and my head's on a swivel, but the entire population of Portland is out here now. So it's time for us to say goodbye. I'm almost to my car. I'm gonna get in my car and I'm gonna get the hell away from here, I can tell you that much. But before I do, quick recap. We are on the Mirror Lake Trail to Tom, Dick, and Harry Peaks today. And along the way, well, we got to see people everywhere. But we also got to see some great views, multiple volcanoes. We got to see dense forests would smell like weed. We got to see some great views. But now, it's over. And it is time for me to say, if I can, I'm just looking around to see if any ninjas are gonna drop from the trees. No, okay. Then I get to say, stay introverted, everybody. Hopefully next time we'll find a little quieter trail, but I'll definitely see you in the next adventure.